Hello PlayStation fans! Today we're looking at the top 10 franchises that once ruled the roost, but have now been lost to the sands of time. Earlier Ridge Racer games received critical acclaim for their graphics, gameplay, and musical score, with many critics citing it as a contributing factor to the success of the PlayStation in its early years. Unfortunately, later entries strayed too far from the source material, and the series died after several poorly reviewed outings. Soccer on the PlayStation. FIFA and PES have battled it out for decades at this point, but for several years it was a three-horse race. The This Is Football series survived right up until 2010, until it could no longer compete with the EA and Konami big boys. Often considered the spiritual successor to GoldenEye 007, TimeSplitters was a first-person shooter featuring wacky characters from a diverse number of time periods. A trilogy was released between 2000 and 2005, but attempts to make a fourth stalled, with potential publishers doubting that there was sufficient interest. A series of stealth shooter games that often had Solid Snake looking over his shoulder. The series was once considered to be one of Ubisoft's flagship franchises, although there hasn't been a new installment since 2013. It's probably because they can't find a way to make it open world. A series of platform stealth games on the PS2, PS3 and PS Vita. A heavily anticipated fourth game was released after an 8-year hiatus, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. Unfortunately, it didn't perform as well as expected, and there are currently no plans to create any further titles. This third-person shooter series ran for 8 years. It debuted in 1999 on the PS1 and ended with its 6th installment on the PS2 in 2007. We'll never know if Gabe survived this now. SOCOM was a third-person tactical shooter exclusively made for the PlayStation brand. Spanning 10 titles in 9 years, this series has influenced many popular games today with its portrayal of realistic combat. Sony still refuses to rule out a new SOCOM title, so fingers crossed. A series of action-adventure games that started on the PS1 and ended on the PS2 with Legacy of Kain Defiance. The 6th entry, entitled Legacy of Kain Dead Son, was set to be released in 2012 before it was cancelled by Square Enix. Square Enix's decision attracted much criticism when footage of Dead Son was leaked a year later. A series of vehicular combat games that sold over 5 million copies. 10 games were released within just 7 years, with the developers milking the popular series dry. There were also countless copycat titles released too, which led to everyone seemingly getting tired of vehicular combat by the dawn of the PS3. SSX was released on the PS2 and is regarded as the greatest PlayStation launch title ever. By us, anyway. The 3 further PS2 sequels all received critical acclaim, with the last being SSX on Tour, that was released in 2005. 7 years later, in 2012, a reboot was released on the PS3. Despite positive reviews and commercial success, however, the decline in the popularity of snowboarding has seemingly prevented any further titles. Rest in peace, SSX. Do you know of any more popular series that ran out of steam? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
Backside 5720 with the nose grab.
For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos in the future. Cheers!